Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show how to run the regression in Excel, and unfortunately, because I'm not able to get the forward market data from the capital markets room at the Fox School, we're just going to do a basic test of foreign exchange market efficiency. What that entails is just regressing the spot rate, the current period spot rate, this column here, on the previous period spot rate, which is this variable right here, the current spot rate, lagged one period, which you already have from your naive column, which you use to make your naive forecast. So we'll just create a new sheet, and we'll take the data that we need. Want to cut it. Spot rate. Right click to paste and go to values only. And then we'll copy the naive column. Values only. It's my personal preference. I like the center of these, but it's whatever. So I'm going to relabel this as just minus foreign exchange -1, just to because naive is really only for forecasting. It's just the name, so it's not that big of a deal. But and this just shows it's the previous period. So this is period 1. This is period 2. Here's period 1, period 3, period 2, period 4, period 3, and so on. So with the regression package, this is going to show up as nothing, and you can't have that. So we're just going to delete this here. We lose an observation, but that's fine. So everything else is the same. Again, this period is this period here. So then we're going to regress. Again, regression it's a fancy word for y equals mx plus b. This is our y variable, and this is our x variable, and then the regression estimates b and m from that equation. So how do you run a regression in Excel? We go to File, then Options. If you have an older, let me just say this, if you have an older version of Excel, there will be an Excel Microsoft Office Windows button around here. That might be a really old version of Excel I'm thinking of, but nonetheless, it may not be under File, it may be under that special Microsoft button. But either way, go to Options and then Add-ins. You'll see something called Add-ins. This is what you should look for. There's Add-ins. Click it. And you want to do Analysis. Okay, VBA, that's Visual Basic. We don't want that. It's this one right here, Analysis Tool Pack. And again, it might be labeled something differently in older versions of Excel, like Data Analysis or something like that. So just click that and then hit OK. Well, I've already done my Excel already has it on my laptop, so it's not doing anything. But yours, the white cross here that you see, the cursor, will become like the hourglass or the thinking thing for a couple seconds, and as it adds that package in. And then to use the package, you go up to Data, then Data Analysis. If you go to Data before you do the add-in, this shouldn't be here unless you've added it in the past or something. Okay, so now this is here, this Analysis, Data Analysis, and this will allow us to run our regression. So we click this, and we go to Regression. Okay, so Regression, hit OK. Okay, so it'll ask you for your input range here and your output range. These will be blank when you do this. So input range, I'm just going to click and drag all of A, column A. I don't remember what it goes down to, 132. There you go, and we're going to do the same thing for B. Now I'm just going to copy the syntax because I know what it is. I know that it's 132 now because of this. I'm going to click Labels. That just tells the Excel, the data analysis tool package, that the first row you see are labels. Okay, output range. Where are we going to put the output? Let's put it in H4. Doesn't really matter. You can put it in a new worksheet ply if you want, or an entirely new Excel file. Okay, you don't have to click the residuals, so make sure all of this is all blank here, and just hit OK. So again, depending on how fast your computer is in Excel, it might take a second or two, but definitely no longer than that. And then what we're going to do is do a t-test on the variables. So we would look at these t-statistics. Let's make them red to make them pop out. The foreign exchange efficiency would say that if it's at least weakly efficient, that this intercept, remember the y equals, mx plus b, the standard equation from algebra. We use this for regression. So this y is our spot rate, x is our spot rate minus 1 period, and then b, this is our b right here, 0.16. Is this different? Is this statistically different from 0? Two ways to check. One is to just look at the t-statistic and say, is this above 2? So foreign exchange efficiency requires the intercept to be 0 and the fx1 slope estimate, that's the m here, that's this m, mx plus b, to be statistically So now we can do these tests. This is kind of the thing that we're testing here. The intercept is, so say, is the intercept, 0? And here we would say that it is not 0. It is different from 0. No. Since the t-statistic is greater than 2. Again, another way to see this is, here's your standard errors. So Excel estimates your coefficient. It estimates what this b is. B, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about here is the b. Excel gives an estimate. It says, hey, I estimated b. It's 0.16809. Plus or minus, so give or take 0.06, right? 0 is not included in that, right? So we have, just to double check, 0.16809, right? 1811 if you really want to be technical. So subtract 0.0.06212, 0168. and 0.10. So the lowest it would be is 0.105. 0 is not included. So this, is this 0? No. I'm 95% sure this is not 0. This guy right here. But again, two ways to see that. Subtract the standard error from this coefficient, or sort of a slightly augmented version of doing that is checking if the t-statistic is greater than 2. Is the fx minus 1 slope estimate 0. Here we'd say no, since again the t statistic is greater than 2. Not only is it greater than 2, it's greater than 23, which is huge. Okay. So here we'd say this is evidence that the FX market is not efficient. Because again, why? Because we would expect this guy to be 0. The answer, if this were efficient, it would say, the answer to this would be yes, not no. And this is evidence that the foreign exchange market is efficient. And like we said in class, this nicely corroborates what we said in class. There's mixed evidence for the efficiency of the foreign exchange markets.